Are you thinking about moving to Charleston, South Carolina, but can't decide if you'd rather live in the heart of downtown or in one of the surrounding suburbs? If so, you're not alone. Each option has its own pros and cons depending on your lifestyle, so I'm going to break it down for you. So let's dive right in. First off, I think the most important factor to consider is what kind of lifestyle you find the most rewarding. Do you like the faster pace of life and being close to a ton of different entertainment options, or do you enjoy the slower pace of life, or may even want to start a family soon? Are you planning on starting a family in the next 5 to 10 years? The current phase of life you're in and what you enjoy doing are important things to figure out before making a decision like this. Living in downtown Charleston versus the suburbs will impact everything from your commute to lifestyle, budget, and social life, so it's worth doing some planning before you consider your move. It could be the difference between you loving or hating your first couple of years here. Let's talk about what life would be like in downtown and the surrounding suburbs to give you a better idea of what to expect. So starting with downtown Charleston, it has to be one of the coolest places to live in the entire country. Downtown is like living in a museum that tells you the story of America through its well-preserved historic districts and tourist attractions. The city has done a fantastic job of preserving and restoring its historical character. You'll find original cobblestone streets, historic mansions that date back to the 1700s, military structures that were involved in multiple wars, and one of the oldest markets in the country. Oh, and let's not forget that Charleston consistently ranks as one of the top cities in the entire United States for world-class dining, thanks to its great selection of top-rated restaurants. When you live downtown, you're a short walk or bike ride away from all these attractions, food options, and bars. If you love an exciting nightlife, you'll find a plethora of options to keep you entertained. Charleston has a great variety of classy bars, fancy hotels, and fun nightclubs that cater to a wide range of different age groups. While all these pros are great, there are some downsides when it comes to living downtown. These attractions bring in a ton of tourists. Back in 2023, tourism generated $13 billion for Charleston and brought in almost 6 million visitors. You can expect busy crowds, higher rates of traffic, and you'll likely need to make reservations to get into your favorite restaurants during the peak tourist seasons. The peak tourist season usually starts in March and goes through the end of September. Another thing to consider is that downtown Charleston was developed before the invention of cars, so there's a network of narrower streets. Back in the day, people either walked or traveled by horse and carriage, not on 2-lane streets. This means that a lot of roads downtown are one way, and on top of that, parking can be tough to find. I've seen people purchase designated parking spots in downtown for over $20,000. The city has built a lot of parking garages to help with this issue, and there's also street parking available for residents, but it can still be frustrating during peak tourist seasons. So who exactly are the folks living in downtown Charleston? The crazy thing is, and I wish I had data to support it by the way, but I suspect the vast majority of folks who live on the Charleston Peninsula are not actually from Charleston. Instead, they're from elsewhere and relocated to downtown Charleston because of its charm and pace of life. Many residents tend to be younger people who grew up in the suburbs and crave the city life now that they're in their 20s or 30s. Or they're relocating from a large city and still value that style of living. However, in my experience, many people who are from a major city like New York City or Los Angeles relocate to Charleston to get a larger home for a lower price compared to where they're coming from. As a result, most of them tend to flock to the suburbs, which leads me to my next topic. Life in the suburbs. Many of you watching this video already have a good idea of what to expect. People choose to live in the suburbs because it offers a quieter, more relaxed pace of life. If you don't like dealing with large crowds and your hobbies don't include going out all the time, then it's the suburbs for you. It's generally a better option for people with families and pets because it's easier to find spacious homes with large yards. The suburbs around Charleston offer access to more parks and outdoor activities like boating, fishing, and kayaking. There are great master planned communities in the suburbs that offer extensive amenities as well. For example, one of the most popular neighborhoods is called Nexton, and it's in Somerville. It was voted the #1 neighborhood in the entire country back in 2021. You can find resort-style pools, top-rated restaurants, and great shopping districts a short drive from your home. It's all about quality of life and convenience. Another plus of choosing the suburbs is that you have more options for schools compared to downtown. And if this is a huge driving factor for you, I would recommend looking in, say, Mount Pleasant or Daniel Island, or anywhere in the Dorchester District 2 school district. But what if you aren't worried about schools or kids yet? Well, don't fret. Charleston has a great variety of suburbs that cater to a wide range of lifestyles. If you aren't quite ready to settle down but don't want to live in a place as busy as downtown Charleston, there's some great options. Mount Pleasant, North Charleston, West Ashley still have a lot going on, and there's still a short drive to downtown. On the other hand, if you want to live somewhere that's quieter with a lot less people, you can look at areas like Moncks Corner or Hanahan or Latson. If you would like a middle ground between both of these options, a larger suburban community with plenty to do, but far outside the hustle and bustle of downtown, you should consider Somerville or Goose Creek. No matter what stage of life you're in, you can find something in Charleston, and it's what I specialize in as a real estate agent. The only real cons to choosing the suburbs are less entertainment options and less historical significance. But one of the biggest pros to choosing the suburbs over downtown is affordability. So let's talk about that. Housing options and costs are usually instrumental when it comes to choosing a place to live, and it's not easy downtown. Housing is very expensive and competitive because of the limited inventory due to geographical constraints to expansion. There's simply no room to build more housing supply on the peninsula. On top of this, you add the historical preservation in downtown, it's easy to see why it commands a premium on price. But just how expensive is it? The median sales price for a single-family home in downtown Charleston on the peninsula was just over $2 million, and for a townhome or condo, it was $755,000 as of February 2025. Prices like this make it nearly impossible for the average person to buy a home here. But if you can afford it, there's some things you should know. It's not just home prices that make it costly to live here, it's also historical compliance and maintenance costs. Not every home in downtown is historic, but a lot of them are. And Charleston has some of the strictest preservation rules in the entire country. These rules, which are codified into city ordinances, are how the city protects downtown's historical integrity. So any exterior changes you want to make will have to go through the Board of Architectural Review to ensure compliance with historical standards. Getting approvals for exterior work can take several months depending on the scope of work. Factor in higher insurance costs due to the age of the home plus flooding concerns, you get a better idea of why downtown Charleston can be so pricey. But if you love history and you have the means to, there is no better way to experience true Southern living. On that note, let's talk about home prices in the suburbs. The median sales price for a single-family home in the Charleston Tri-County area was $420,000 as of February 2025. These prices are much more doable for the average person, and the best part is that you can find homes that are less than the median price. As a rule of thumb, cities closer to downtown and the water are going to be more expensive. For example, Mount Pleasant, James Island, and the West Ashley suburb of Charleston all have higher median sales prices than North Charleston, Goose Creek, Latson, Summerville, and Moncks Corner. The median sales price for a single-family home in Mount Pleasant was just over $1 million, and for townhomes and condos, it was $586,000. Now, compare those prices to North Charleston. The median sales price for a single-family home in North Charleston was $330,000, and for a townhome or condo, it was $282,000. That's literally 1/3 the cost of Mount Pleasant. So prices vary wildly between different cities. Let's talk about commute times around Charleston in the suburbs. Charleston has grown a lot over the past 20 years, and traffic congestion can get pretty bad during rush hours. The good news is that commute times are not as bad as major cities like Atlanta or Charlotte, and most of the time, you can get around the metro pretty quickly with minor traffic. Let's use Moncks Corner as an example, because this town is the furthest away from downtown Charleston and fits within the theme of this video. The average travel time from Moncks Corner to downtown is typically anywhere from 40 to 50 minutes with normal traffic. According to TomTom, traffic is most congested on weekdays around 5 p.m. Using Google Maps, I updated the leave time from that time to 5 p.m., and you'll see that commute times only varied by about 30 minutes. The longest expected travel time is estimated to be about an hour and 10 minutes with heavy traffic. But Moncks Corner is the furthest city away from downtown. Other cities like Goose Creek, Summerville, Latson, and Hanahan are going to have shorter commuter times typically, unless you're going to a certain place in Summerville. If you hate long commutes, the best thing you can do is pick a suburb that's close to where you work. I know traffic patterns well and can advise you on where to look and, more importantly, where not to look, so you don't spend too much time in traffic when you're going to your job. Living in downtown Charleston is a dream come true for people who love history and enjoy a faster pace of life, but it does come with a hefty price tag. The suburbs around Charleston have a lot to offer, and with how different they all are, it's easy to find a place to fit your specific lifestyle. It all comes down to where you are in life and what you value. As one of the top real estate teams in Charleston, we want to earn your business and be your resource for real estate. My contact info is always in the video description down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.